Not win online, you know what that is? That's not leveraging artificial intelligence, especially if you're a content creator and you're not in a space right now where you're competing for attention, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing, right? If you're not in a place where you're providing valuable content, which is going to give you the ability to grab more eyeballs, to grab more attention, if you're not doing that consistently and constantly, you're going to find yourself in a state where other people who are not really as good as you, they're going to end up getting an edge over you in whatever you teach, because you're not visible, because they don't see you. And that's because you're not using AI, artificial intelligence, to get the word out there for what you do. What's good? What's good, my people? Welcome to Recharge Your Business Session. And I'm excited. I'm excited because we're in a day and age right now where artificial intelligence is like, you got to start using it. You got to start leveraging it. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Your competition will. Other people who are in your industry will. Other people who provide complementary products and services or alternatives to what you offer or provide will. And you'll keep treading. And the problem is you're not going to get as many people that you could get. You're not going to serve as many people as you could serve. You're not going to help as many people as you could help, because you aren't utilizing this technology. So I want us to talk about how to best leverage it today. What's good, my people? What's good? What's good? Rock did it. Good to see you. He said he's sharing it. Let's go. I love it. For all my people right now that are on this IG live, go ahead and click that little airplane button below and share this. Share this with somebody who needs to leverage AI for their content creation. Share this with somebody who they're struggling with being consistent and putting it out there. Share this with somebody you know has a great product or service. Share this with somebody you know has a phenomenal heart, but just enough people in the world don't know it. Share this with that person, because we're really gonna talk about leveraging it for content creators specifically. Meaning, this is for you if you have a product or service and you're in a place where, or you're creating a product or service. I don't care if it's a book, if it's a program, if it's a course. I don't care if you do speeches, whatever you do. If you have some type of knowledge or expertise and you create content and you've been considering, should I use AI? Or maybe you have already been trying to use it, but you haven't been using it consistently for specific purposes. That's really what I want us to talk about today, so you can really get your name out there. All right. We got folks sharing it. So shout out to y'all on here, and shout out to you for joining the Recharging Your Business Session. This is something that we do every single day at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, so I'm excited, and happy President's Day to everybody in the U.S. I'm glad that you're here and you learn. You're taking a holiday right now to really learn and improve. So I pay attention to things like that, because that means that you're going hard. So shout out to you on your journey for that. All right, so this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you some tips on what does it really look like to leverage AI for your business or as a content creator. And then we're also going to talk about what does it look like. I'm going to give you some resources, and then I'll answer one or two questions that you guys have. All right. So you excited? All right. Go ahead and put excited below if you're excited. And again, go ahead and share this with somebody if you need to. You know what's so interesting? What's so interesting is, I've been in this field for about a decade, going over a little over a decade. I've been in this field, right? Since about 2012, maybe about 11 years. There's never been a time where I've seen throughout the 11 years where like they had something came out that literally leveled the playing field for everybody, whether you're old, whether you're new, and leveled the playing field, because the number one reason why people aren't getting enough brand exposure for their business or their products or services is because it's hard for people to be consistent. So we had social media, right? So, a lot of the social media platforms came out, during the mid 2000s. Instagram came out a little bit later. And as these social media platforms came out, guess what? It was just like, okay, we get on these platforms, we post, but although it gave everybody the access, and it didn't necessarily give everybody the same ability to get exposure. You feel what I'm saying? If you was on one platform versus on somebody who was on 3 platforms, you may not necessarily get exposure. Or if you're posting once a day and I'm posting 3 times a day, depending on my schedule, depending on if I got 2, 3, 4 jobs, depending on if I got 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, depending on what I have going on in my life, there wasn't a real way that, although I had the same access, there wasn't a real way for me to compete in terms of brand exposure because of my life and the way that I had things set up. But now what's so great about this new opportunity is that with the power of AI and all of these tools that are being developed every day so quickly, it gives us the ability to do a couple things. It gives us the ability to create content on demand, meaning with these platforms, you'll have the ability to, create Facebook posts, to create articles, to create emails, to create, you can create checklists, you can create infographics, you can create, there's just so many things. Now you got AI platforms that can do voiceovers for you and they mimic your voice exactly. You know how before you had to hire like a paid actor or a paid actress to do certain types of content for you? Well, guess what? They got AI now that it does voice recognition, and all it needs to do is recognize your voice, and you don't even have to hire a paid actor anymore. You could literally choose like a bot that looks like a real person, basically like an avatar, and you could do a whole video. All you need to do is input the script, and you could literally do a whole video from a artificial person perspective. You could black, white, Chinese, Indian, no matter who you are, Puerto Rican, Spanish, I don't matter who you are. You can have an avatar that looks exactly how you want them to look, sound exactly how you want them to sound. You don't have to hire somebody, and they can literally read a script that you've pasted word for word. It's so amazing the things that AI is doing right now that that is exciting in one hand, because wow, it gives everybody the opportunity to be able to share. It gives you the opportunity to be able to automate content. But on the flip side, it doesn't just give you that ability to do it. It gives everybody else that ability to do it, right? 100 million other content creators, it gives them that ability to do it too. So that's why anytime something happens, you always want to be one of the early adopters. You don't have to be the earliest adopter, but you want to be an early adopter of anything that's new, especially when it comes to technology. Because if you're not, there's going to be a certain time where the scales are going to tip. Coach T, what do you mean? It's going to tip in terms of attention. It's going to tip in terms of users. It's going to tip in terms of the amount of exposure that you get. When you look at social media platforms, and I'm gonna give you some tips in a second on how to leverage AI, but when you look at social media, and like I said, let's say mid 2000s, right, when things really started, like social media really started to get known and started to get widespread, there was a point in time where you can make a post on social media and get clients, right? It's kind of wild to think about right now that it's like, damn, what, you think you could just say, I got a coaching program, or hey, I want to, buy my book or hire me to speak, or you could just offer your product or service and then immediately get a flood of buyers coming in just from doing a single post. Well, that was actually, and for the common person, I'm not talking about Kim Kardashian, right? I'm talking about for the common person. So that's what the world looked like about 20 years ago on social media, online. Now, today, when you look at how hard it is to even get seen, I'm not even talking about having people buy your products and services anymore, because it's definitely not going to happen. You just posting, right? You post this thing. I got this product. I got this service. You think you posting it and you're going to live a sustainable life that's going to bring you in recurring and predictable revenue every month? It's not going to happen. It's not today. You missed the boat about 20 years ago is what I'm telling you, right? That's just why did I miss the boat? You missed the boat because now these platforms have way more users on it. Now, I can't tell you what Facebook had back in 2005, but I'm just going to give a ballpark. I have no idea how close this is to amount of actual users, but I'm going to say in 2005, let's say Facebook had about, I don't know, let's say 100 to 150,000 users. Let's just say 150,000. I could be way off, but I don't think it's more than that, though. If it is, it's going to be less than that. But let's just say in 2005, and I remember 2005 vividly because I have an older cousin that's about a year older than me. And I remember how much I wanted to be on Facebook, because he was on Facebook. And if you remember, for some of my millennials here, my older millennials, you might remember this. There was a point in time where Facebook you had to have a college ID to even get on Facebook. Some of y'all remember that? Put me if you remember that, right? So what that did was that made it exclusive, meaning that everybody can't get a user account. That mean that meant that you had to be in an exclusive group. So that created the demand to be on it, which means that most people weren't on it. And because most people weren't on it, the people that were on it, the things that were being offered was more exclusive. Does that make sense? So when you do get on it and you offer your product or offer your service or something that you have, you would get a high compliance rate from your audience. Now, like I said, you missed the boat about 20 years. So now, if you would have got on Facebook or some of these social media platforms, then YouTube, if you would have got on that, then you would have been an early adopter enough to where you can create a sustainable revenue income stream just posting. Not doing anything, you have to get on no calls, you don't got to send out emails, you could post and live a phenomenal life, right? Now, you missed the boat about 20 years. What do we have today? You know what we have today? We have artificial intelligence today. What I'm telling you is that there's the same opportunity that's happening right now with artificial intelligence, is what I'm telling you. Is that there's a way for you to be able to access these these AI platforms to create your content and make it better. You don't even have to hire a copywriter, because you have copywriters already. Literally pay a couple dollars a month to some of these platforms, and I'll give you some suggestions on some platforms on here. But pay a couple dollars a month and you'll have an ability to, create. You have the best marketing team in the world. You have the best copywriting team in the world, best sales team in the world, just through these platforms. So if you leverage it now, you're in a great place. All right, give this some like and give this some love too. Like if you like, I'm learning, I'm feeling this, I'm getting it, right? So let me give you some tips on some things that you can do, what you can leverage AI for. Then I'm gonna give you some tools. We'll give you some resources, and then we'll answer 1 or 2 questions. So couple things you can use it for, right? So you can use AI for when you're creating content. One, you can use it for infographics. So you can create the content. So infographic is literally, you have information, and then you want to, usually it's like 1 page, and it's usually a visual representation for some type of information, usually more checklist form type things. This is not a white paper. This is not an ebook. This is not something that's meant for it to be super long. Infographic is usually 1-2 pages, and it's a visual representation of whatever you want to teach your ideal clients and or audience. If that makes sense, go ahead and put "makes sense" in the chat. So you can create infographics, you can create a white paper, you can create, and I'm showing you some of the things you could do with AI. You can do, obviously you can create ebooks, you can create LinkedIn posts, Facebook posts, YouTube descriptions. You can create, if you need help with headlines, if you need help with, we talked about like the voiceovers. It's literally just so many things that you can do with it. We can have an unlimited list, right? Especially around copy. And now they have a lot of AI that's voice recognition, that's facial recognition, right? We've seen a lot of the artwork that's been popping up recently with some of these AI platforms. They can take a picture and they could turn you into, royalty. You know what I mean? Like you could be the Queen of England. It's just so much that these AI platforms can do now. And, obviously in addition to the captions and things of that nature, right? So what's interesting is now that we have all of that to our our disposal, you want to start leveraging it right now. Everybody put right now in the chat. You want to start leveraging it right now, because what that's going to allow you to do is create better content more frequently. And when you can create better content more frequently, people are going to start noticing you. Now, the reason I'm saying that this is the time to be an early adopter is because there's going to be a tipping point, Just like it was 20 years ago when everybody is going to start doing this and start using it. And once everybody starts doing something, there's no longer going to be a demand for it. You know what I'm saying? When everybody gets on something at some point, it's not going to be worth as much. So who I was talking to, I think I was talking to my wife. So shout out to my wife. I think she was on here, my lawyer, Amina, right? So I was just talking to her about this. I want to say yesterday, where Twitter, y'all been following Twitter, right? And they have what we call Twitter Blue. So for those who don't know, Twitter Blue, basically, you know how hard it is to get verified on these social media platforms, right? We all know, but I know below if you know. So, but something that Elon Musk did for Twitter is they're actually making getting verified available for everybody for a subscription. Meaning you can get that blue check as long as you pay a small subscription fee. So what is that going to do? That's going to, there's a lot of people right now who don't even know that is available or does not know that exists. As far as I know right now, and I don't even know if it's available. I think it is available right now. As far as I know, there's no distinguishable difference. Like I didn't see anything that said, okay, this profile got verified through Twitter, and this is, and this is verified through Twitter, but they paid for the subscription, right? I don't know if there's any difference right now. I don't think there is. So what does that really mean? That means that, oh, wow, if I see that this person is verified and I'm communicating with this person, I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention to this person because they're verified. We know the people with the blue checks. If you see them had anybody like their content from somebody who was a verified account before, you had anybody engage with your account that was verified before, when you look through the notifications on Instagram or you look through the notifications on Twitter and you see somebody who's verified, you're like, oh wow, dope. Like somebody's verified and they like my stuff, right? You feel good about it. It makes you want to comment back. It makes you want to engage back. It makes you want to send DMs to them. It increases the likelihood of compliance when somebody who's verified engages with your account. Now, if you do that right now, and I'm making a parallel to AI, right? If you do that right now, you will be able to see a large amount of response rate, meaning your people will be way more responsive to you once they see that you're verified, right? And I got a lot of friends that are verified, right? And I'm telling you, it's a lot easier when you're sending messages, when you're commenting, when you want to connect, when you want to send somebody to a webinar, you want to give somebody a free resource, you want to invite somebody to your live event, you want to get a client. It's way easier when you have a verified account. So you'll get more compliance now, but let's wait 6 months. Let's wait a year. Let's say by the end of this year. If you wait to the end of this year, it might already, and this is Twitter Blue, it might already hit the tipping point. You feel what I'm saying? You might already have hit the tipping point by that time. So if you hit the tipping point and then try to go and get clients with the verified blue check, now it's not going to mean as much because everybody's doing it. If everybody's doing it, now you got to do something else that's different. You got to put in more work. You got to put in more effort. You got to do something else. What I'm saying is it's the same exact thing when it comes to AI right now. Is you want to start using it and leveraging it and putting out more content and putting out content that's better. And you basically want to flood the streets. I tend to believe that when you leverage these platforms, you want to still give it your own unique voice, because a lot of these platforms, they'll say, the tone of voice, because you may not talk professional. For me, I talk a little bit more informal, right? And, but it depends on the audience. On LinkedIn, I am a little bit more polished up, but, depending on what it is. On Instagram, I'm not. On Facebook, a little bit more, but not really, right? So the thing is that if I leverage AI, then I'm also adding my authentic voice. I'm not literally just running, let's say, Chat GPT has been huge, right? So I'm not just running Chat GPT and just copying and pasting whatever the AI pops out with and just post it. I don't think that's the right move, because you're not really adding your authenticity to it. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, go ahead and put "makes sense" below, right? So you always want to be adding that authenticity factor to it. But however, leverage it. And if you leverage it now, you'll start to see like light years gained. Like you might mess around and make an extra 100,000 or 6 figures, or get extra couple dozen clients, or you might mess around and land some huge partnerships and some huge deals, or just because you started being more consistent using AI with your content creation. So that's what I'm saying, is that you want to jump into the game and do that. All right, does that make sense? Go ahead and put make sense below, and give this some like and give this some love too. Let me know that this is working for you. So now, what are some tools and some things that we can use? So number one, a couple things. One, you can use obviously Chat GPT. Somebody put these in the chat for me. Chat GPT. Chat GPT is literally chatbots. You can, get whatever kind of, basically you're talking to the AI in a chat form, and it can provide you with, basically any answers to any questions that you have. Or if you want them to write something for you, you can do that. So Chat GPT is a good one. Jasper.ai, JASPER.ai is another good one. That one would also allow you to, basically similar to Chat GPT, they have some other features and some other things as well. They also do the visual art. So if you've been seeing like some of these visual arts, I think you remember they had what went viral in terms of like some of these digital arts, this digital artwork. Well, that was doing AI, right? That was through AI. So Jasper has, and they have a lot of preset templates where if you want to do, you might say, I want descriptions for TikTok or Facebook, or I want a description for YouTube, or I want a list of YouTube topics. I want a YouTube headline. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that you can use, certain things that you can get from it. So Jasper.ai is a good one. Otter.ai is another great one. OTTER.ai is another great one. Otter it does voice transcriptions. So this is like phenomenal. Like if you want to write an ebook, or if you want to write a book in general, if you want to like write something, especially if it's more long form, and you're more like me, where I don't necessarily look at writing as my strong point. Now I'll write, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a strength of mine. But talking, I could talk all day. You know what I'm saying? I could do this all day. I could talk on video. I could talk on stage. For my live events, we have we do an annual event called PCS Bootcamp every year, where we invite people from all over the country, coaches from all over the country, and they learn and they build and they're building their business, right? And I'm on stage. I'm up and I'm talking for 8, 9, 10, 11 hours. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So with that, I can just talk all day. But when it comes to writing, I have to be a little bit more methodical with my writing. So I mentioned that because Otter.ai is a great tool that's going to allow me to transcribe what I'm saying into words, and then we can use that. And we can use that as well. All right. So those are some tools that you can use. You can leverage. Let me know. Let's go. Let me know if this is helpful to you. Go ahead and put helpful in the chat if it is. Go ahead and give this some like and give this some love if it is. And let me give you some resources, and then we'll take 1 or 2 questions. What's good, y'all? I'm going to show y'all some love in here. What's good to see y'all? Styles. That chick, good to see you. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Showing y'all some love, man. Let's do it. So, all right. So let me give you some resources. So a couple things. One, if you're in a place right now and you're like, I'm loving this, I want to be able to use this, and particularly if you're trying to market your business right now or advertise your business right now, but you need a blueprint. So one of the things I have is an ads agency. So if you want to be able to run Facebook ads with us, but you need a blueprint of how to run your ads, if you need it, you can do it yourself. Just go ahead and put cheat sheet below, or you could DM me and say cheat sheet. And what I'll do is I'll have my team, myself, or my assistant, we'll send you over a 1-page cheat sheet of how to run Facebook ads yourself. So we'll send that over to you and our strategies of what we use. I had a client who got a 1,000% ROI her first week. So if you want to learn how she did that, just put cheat sheet below. We have, so that's one gift. Another one is if you want one-on-one coaching and you're like, yo, I've been trying to, like, this is the year I really want to take my business to the next level, but I just need some help with the program. I need help with the pricing. I need help with the content creation. I need help with lead generation. I need help making sales. If you need help with any of those areas and you're trying to like level your business up, go ahead and put coach me below. or shoot me a DM that says coach me. And what I'll do is I'll put you on the calendar and see how I can help. All right. Now, it's not a guarantee we're going to work together, but if I can help, I will allow you to apply to the program. So that's option number 2, or resource number 2. Resource number 3, we have our annual boot camp. So remember earlier I was telling you about my PCS boot camp. So this is a boot camp for coaches, and this year is marketing and promotion. So if you want to attend the boot camp, go ahead and put boot camp below. Actually no. Matter of fact, go to this website. Go to pcsbootcamp.com. Somebody put that in the chat for me. pcsbootcamp.com. If you go there, then you can actually get a ticket to be able to attend a live event. All right. And actually, this is the last week you can get your ticket for half off. So you want to go ahead and grab your ticket. All right. And then last but not least, if you want us to run your Facebook ads because you just don't have the time or the interest to learn how to do lead generation with Facebook ads, but you know it's important, then go ahead and put Facebook ads below or shoot me a DM that says Facebook ads. All right, I know I got a lot of resources for you, but I told you I got you. All right, so let's go ahead and take any questions. Any questions that we have. And by the way, we also have, shout out to LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, IG. We got Twitter. We got everything running right now. We stream live on all platforms. So if there's any questions that we have, go ahead and put your questions below. And as we do that, or if you have any questions, if not, I'll kind of leave us with this thought. So it's here already. As I mentioned, the opportunity to use artificial intelligence for your content is not even in the question right now. It's critical. It's critical because if you don't do it, your competitors will do it. Once they start getting hit, and I promise you, it's probably going to be a couple months when I'm talking about tens of millions of people in the next few months are really going to start swarming the social media streets. And if you don't leverage AI right now, it's gonna be a lot harder. If you've been finding it hard to get exposure or to get engagement on your social media now, you're gonna feel like it's damn near impossible in a few months if you don't get on top of it right now. So I'm highly encouraging that you get on it. You sign up for whatever one. I mean, there's a ton of them. I just listed a few different resources today, but you can literally Google it and just find one that fits for you, and really start putting out content. And start marketing your business, and start marketing your services, and start telling people about what you have, and start sharing and giving and just being more visible, because that is what's going to allow people to want to do business with you. But if you're a ghost online, they're not going to want to do business with you. If your content is not as good and you're giving a bunch of fluff, they're not going to want to do business with you. If you're not presenting yourself as an authority or an expert, like you have credibility in what you do, they're not going to want to do business with you. So you display all of that, and you let the marketplace know that by the volume of content you put out, but also the quality of the content that you put out. Like that's just the day and age we have. If you want to be in business and you want to be online today, you got to be seen. All right. So with that being said, continue to be great. With that being said, continue to be great, continue to serve, continue to give, and realize that baby steps are better than no steps. All right. I'll see you on tomorrow's Recharge Your Business session. Let's work.